Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here for some more Timelord Victorious. This time continuing as we talk about comics, the third comic series, and this is on an app called the Comic Creator. And I'm going to be honest here, this one is pretty kiddie. This one is made for younger kids. It's kind of very simple art, simple story, more just with dialogue, but it does seem like it gives a few key points to the overall story. I haven't finished reading the books or the booklets that come with the Daleks or some of the short stories, so this might just be reiterating information from that. However, I do think it kind of helps fill in brief little gaps because these are very short stories, and it's 5 different episodes, each a completely different story. So they're the Tales of the Dark Times. So these are all taking place in the Dark Times. The first one has Brian the Ood and the 10th Doctor as in full Timelord Victorious garb. And Brian is searching for the Doctor. He finds the Doctor. The Doctor says, I went back to the Dark Times. I saved this wonderful species. Look at how grateful they are around me. Brian says, I don't see anything. They must be dead spirits. The Doctor's like, no, they're not dead spirits. They're the species. And then Brian, being an Ood, can kind of tell that they're up to no good, that they're actually siphoning the Doctor's life force and misleading the Doctor. So they're hurting the Doctor while all this is going on. And that leads Brian to kill them. This makes the Doctor mad. And kind of like the strategist in the first comic series we talked about, the Doctor's mad at him, and Brian's like, I saved your life. But the Doctor does not like the killing of anybody else to save his life. That takes us to episode 2, this one featuring the Daleks and another species that's in the Dark Times, and the Cthulhu is about to come and wipe them out. And this one, I got a chuckle out of this one because the Daleks show up as gracious saviors. And they're like, we can't... And they're like, no, we're pacifists. We can't have the Daleks defending us with the Daleks. So your great race must be survived. And I said, we're such a pacifist culture that even military might to protect us is against our ways. And so the Emperor asks the strategist, please explain. And the strategist goes, oh, they're even more peaceful and more wise than the Daleks. And therefore, and they go, well, how can we save them? And the strategist, kind of throws in there, we'll take them with us to our planet and protect them there. And of course, he asks for the best and brightest, that we can't save everybody, but let us take the best and brightest of your people, the best specimens, the best minds. And they do all that, and then they're all loading up, and then one guy is coming in there, wait, I'm the world's greatest musician. And the Dalek is like, we have no more space for musicians. And, because they have no appreciation of art at all, they go off and immediately they put all these people into cold storage for experimentation. Because their advanced brains, they're going to be trying to dissect all their knowledge and get it to help battle the Cthulhu. But it was funny seeing the Daleks going back in time to a species who doesn't know what a Dalek is and pretending to be these like wonderful, peaceful protectors of people. And, it's like, how do they even choke the words out? Which it was kind of a funny little thing. Episode number 3 is the 8th Doctor and the Daleks. And this is the 8th Doctor on the time ship. We've already seen some audio dramas of the 8th Doctor on the Dalek time ship. But they come across this ancient ship of a very powerful species from the Dark Times. And they think, well, maybe there's technology on that we can use against the Cthulhu. And they detect an energy source. And the Dalek ship is low on energy. They need energy. They detect an energy source. So what do? They try to absorb it. But the more they absorb, the more the Dalek ship drains of power. And the Daleks are just, take it all. And the Doctor realizes that these people were extremely advanced. They knew they were being wiped out by the Cthulhu. They wanted to pass their knowledge on, but they didn't want to pass it on to a greedy species like the Daleks, so they created this trap. If you went in and tried to scavenge their ship, didn't just look for information, but tried to steal them of these particles, it was designed that as you convert them, it would drain power in the conversion process. So when you convert it over to a more usable energy source, it was designed so it would actually create less power. It would take power to convert it, and it would drain the power. And it was the perfect trap for the Daleks. And the Doctor comes in and he's like, stop right now, because you're idiots. And the strategist came in right there at the end. He is correct. It is a trap. And complete Akbar moment. It is a trap. And they get on and get out of there. But I really thought it was funny that the strategist, when he realized it, he realized just how stupid the rest of the Daleks were being. And he constantly seems frustrated that while on the one hand, he's a Dalek. He wants to destroy, he wants to kill. But he constantly sees how their single-mindedness is causing their downfall. Now, episode 4, as I mentioned in the last comic book review of Monstrous Beauty, in Doctor Who, over the years, there's been a lot of different versions of vampires. And this is basically saying these different alien races that are what humans get the vampire legends from. I really thought it was kind of corny having them all combined into one fleet in the Dark Times, and that they're all these immortal beings that require blood to live, but they're very different species and they're all living together. But anyways, this sees the Ninth Doctor and the Vampire Queen. So after the events of that, he's stranded with this one in the Dark Times, trying to find the 10th Doctor to stop him. And they realize that something's hunting them. And what's hunting them? Well, it completely ignores the Doctor, goes after the Vampire Queen. It's because her blood is cold. And because her blood is cold in that, but it doesn't like heat. So the Doctor creates a fire that protects them. Story ends. It's really nothing of importance other than to just kind of put that he's having adventures with them. I think that goes into more detail in some of the books, so we'll get to that later. And the final one, episode 5, features the 8th and 9th Doctor. So they have now meet up in the Dark Times, and they're searching through, and they come across a modern suburban home. And they go, this must be the source of the energy reading. They thought it was going to be the 10th Doctor, and is a time traveler who has gone back to the beginning of time trying to meet God. And so she asks, are you God? They chuckle that, hey, we can get you home. They get the person home. The 9th and 8th Doctor have some good, interesting banter in here, but story-wise, it doesn't really add much to it. It just shows that they are there working together back and forth, looking for the 10th Doctor to correct him in his errors. So, that's some more Timelord Victorious, the comic creator. Each of these episodes, I think, cost like 99 cents. Maybe they were $1.99 for each issue of this. In my opinion, not worth it. They're kind of simple, silly, but there are a couple of good moments. I definitely liked the one where the Daleks posed as heroes, and I liked the 8th and the Daleks together. Those two, I definitely, if you were going to get it, the app is free. I would buy those two. Those gave me a chuckle. The rest of it, kind of something skippable. But anyways, that's what I thought. I hope you all are enjoying Timelord Victorious, and please hit the subscribe button.